What's going on, guys? You know what time it is. NBA overview. Another day in a row. Gonna keep pushing. Gonna keep trying to make these videos out every single day, even if they come out a little late. Tomorrow should be out earlier because I don't have practice or school or anything like that. So I can get the video out earlier in the day. Sorry about that. I probably need to start waking up earlier and doing them before school. That'll probably happen. But first, let's get into the news. Anthony Davis is out for a game at least. Seth Curry, as we'll talk about in a little bit, of the Sixers players expected to miss some games, especially Seth Curry, because of what happened to him. We'll talk about that. And Karl Anthony Towns is upgraded to questionable, so he might be coming back, which is good for the Timberwolves because they need him. They need their star. All right, let's get into the games. Excited to do this. All right, first up is the 76ers at the Brooklyn Nets. Now, there's stuff we do need to talk about for this game. In the first quarter, Seth Curry was on the bench. Joel Embiid sitting next to him. Seth Curry, he found out he has the thing, and he went into isolation as soon as they found out. Joel Embiid is probably going to have to go into quarantine. He was sitting right next to him on the bench. The Brooklyn Nets players, everyone that was around Seth Curry, that involves a lot of people. Gonna have to watch out, So I guess that really funked with the Sixers' head and losing Seth Curry, especially because he does space the floor for them. He did score 28 for them last game, which is important. And they lose that game 109-122 to the Brooklyn Nets. They're now 7-2. That's their second loss on the season. And they lose that game with another key player out. They lost their first game without Joel Embiid. Now they lose this one without Seth Curry. 109-122, 7-2. Like I said, the Brooklyn Nets are 5-4. If we look at the box score for the Sixers, Tobias Harris had 17. Joel Embiid had 20. Shake Milton had 24. Ben Simmons 11 points off the bench. Tyrese Maxey had 16. On the Nets side, Karis LeVert had 22. Taurean Prince had 13. Jeff Green had 14. Jared Allen had 15. And I forgot to mention that they were without Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. So, yeah, Sixers lost to Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving without them. It sucks to see, but it happened. And off the bench, Joe Harris had was it a career? I don't think it was a career high, but he had 28 points, which is impressive for him. Shooter man, that boy can shoot. Sixers lose that one 109-122. Gonna move on to our second game, Cavaliers at the Grizzlies. This was a 94-90 win in the Cavaliers' favor. They're now 5-4. The Memphis Grizzlies without Ja Morant are 2-6. Looking at the box score for this game, Larry Nance Jr. had 18, Cedi Osman had 16, Andre Drummond had 22. Off the bench, JaVale McGee had 13. On the Grizzlies side, Clark had 14, Jonas Valanciunas had 17, Dylan Brooks had 11, and off the bench for them, nobody really scored. But they do lose that game 90-94 to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Gonna move on to our third game. Only 5 games, so not that much to talk about. But this was a really, really, really good game. Overtime game between the Mavericks and the Nuggets. All right, Nikola Jokic and Luka Doncic going at it each other. Luka going for 38, 13 of 22 from the field, and 10 for 15 from the free throw line. Nikola Jokic going for 38 points for himself, 14 to 31 from the field, and 6 for 10 from the three-point line. As for the other Mavericks players, Josh Richardson had 14, Boban Marjanovic had 12 points off the bench, and Finney Smith also had 14. On the Denver Nuggets side, Paul Millsap, 5 points. Nikola Jokic had 38, like I said. Jamal Murray, 21. Gary Harris, 15. Off the bench, Green had 10, and Morris had 11. They lose that one in overtime, 117-124. The Mavericks are now 4-4. The Denver Nuggets are 3-5. Not horrible for the Nuggets, they're a playoff team, but They're 3-5. They're not like, have one win, so I don't need to make a video about them. But if the losing continues, you best believe there will be a video about the Denver Nuggets. Moving on to our second to last game of the night. LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers lose 109-118 to the San Antonio Spurs at home. The Lakers are now 6-3. The Spurs are 4-4. Going to talk about LaMarcus Aldridge scoring 28 points. Not DeJounte Murray, but DeMonte Murray 18. DeMar DeRozan 19. Shooting that 3-ball a little bit too. He went 2 for 6. Not horrible, but it's more than him not shooting them at all. Lonnie Walker from Philly had 14, and Rudy Gay off the bench had 15. On the Lakers side, LeBron James 27. Anthony Davis had 23. Kyle Kuzma had 13 off the bench. Montrezl Harrell had 10 points. They lose 109-118. Again, not concerned about the Lakers or anything like that. They're 6-3. It happens. They lose games. It's the beginning of the season. They went all the way to the championship. They were the least rested team, them and the Heat. And so they are able to lose games. I'm not deeply concerned. Once the All-Star break comes by in I think it's March this year. March when the All-Star break comes by. They will start to cruise their way from the regular season into the playoffs. Moving along to the last game of the night. We have the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Portland Trailblazers. Like I said, Karl-Anthony Towns is now day-to-day, and they need him because the Timberwolves fall to the Portland Trailblazers, and they're now 2-6. 117-135. The Portland Trailblazers are 4-4. Hernan Gomez of the Timberwolves, 12 points. D'Angelo Russell, 26. Malik Beasley had 12. Off the bench, Anthony Edwards putting on a show with 26 points. The number 1 overall pick showing out last night. Pretty good for him. Reed had 13 and Vanderbilt had 10. On the Blazers side, Nikola, sorry about that. Yusuf Nurkic had 17. Damian Lillard, 39, giving us them buckets. And CJ McCollum with 20. Off the bench, Enes Kanter had 10. And Carmelo Fratello Jello, my favorite color is yellow, had 9. Portland picks up a win. They're now 4-4, 2-2 at home. Portland is, they're another team that's going to start rolling soon. I believe in them. Great team. Damian Lillard, great player. They'll get it rolling. And that is going to wrap it up. You know the drill. Stay cool. Stay safe. Have a good one.